Hello, my name is Ryan Chase, and this is my senior project. Arteria LA implements biomimetic solutions to mitigate vehicular pollution that concentrates along highways, while simultaneously providing protected pedestrian corridors. By taking advantage of the underutilized freeway edge, a system of biking and walking paths can be implemented that reduce the need for commuter vehicles and provide a safe pedestrian alternative for commuters and casual users alike. By collecting and filtering pollutants expelled along the highway, both the adjacent pedestrian path and surrounding communities benefit from cleaner air, and the city as a whole reduces its carbon emissions. My project runs 6.28 miles along the I-10 freeway between Santa Monica and downtown Los Angeles. The site and scope of project were chosen for a number of reasons. First, the site runs from the endpoint of an existing bike path that extends from just a few blocks south of the highway all the way down to Marina del Rey. By introducing an additional section to this path, users would be able to bike in a protected corridor all the way from the coast to downtown. Secondly, the available highway edge is significantly wider in this section of the highway when compared to other heavily used highways in Los Angeles, which allows for more of a landscape intervention. Fourth, when comparing peak commute times and traffic in the area, a casual bicyclist using this route would arrive at work at or before a car commuter leaving from the same point, a possible incentive to use this path for commuting as well as recreation on off days. Fifth, the Environmental Impact Index puts a number of adjacent neighborhoods as being heavily impacted, likely due to the adjacency of the highway. By cleaning up this section, residents would benefit from cleaner air and reduced impacts from the freeway. Sixth, the density of the surrounding neighborhoods is higher than nearby neighborhoods, and as a result, this project would have more of an impact in the area than it might in another location. Seventh, and finally, the number of pedestrian fatalities in the area immediately bordering the highway are fairly high, and providing a safer alternative would hopefully reduce the number of fatalities in the area. By approaching the highway system as a river ecosystem, I pulled similarities between the arterial nature of rivers and highways and applied these findings to pollution mitigation. One point of interest was the presence of eddies, which form collection points for floating debris in the water. Applying small interventions that mimic these waterways in the air would possibly allow for concentrated collections of particulate matter and other pollutants. Studying filter feeding animals that live in the water bodies allowed me to discover a series of potential filtration options. Shown here is the striped mackerel, which feeds through a series of scrubbers. When applied to the sides of a highway, these filters could effectively collect particulate matter as well as other more gaseous forms of pollution. In order to accomplish the distinct yet cohesive elements of the project, the biomimetic pollution mitigation component as well as the safe inviting pedestrian corridor, I am approaching the project in sections. By addressing key points along the site, I can better gauge the intricacies and further design problems that may arise. The first section is the Bologna Creek corridor, which connects the existing bike trail to the highway. Currently, the site is uncared for and is in a classic LA creek situation with channelized concrete walls and debris all around. By returning the creek to its natural state within the confines of the channel, the ecosystem would be healthier here as well as its outpour at the coast. Additionally, it would be more aesthetically appealing to users and provide a better bicycling area. The next section would be the standard highway edge component, which currently averages about 50 feet in width and is either barren or covered with low maintenance ground cover and trees. This area would have the biomimetic wall component added, which would dampen sound, collect pollution, and prevent the spread of pollutants to path users as well as the surrounding neighborhood. Behind this wall, a pedestrian path and walking experience is created within the 50 feet of open space. Finally, at the Clover interchange about halfway through the site, a pedestrian park and bridge system would be implemented. This area would focus more on the human interaction within the highway, rather than complete separation seen in previous areas. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to any and all feedback you may have for me.